right, so in this video looking at key health issues for young people, we are looking at illicit drug use. Remember, illicit is just another way of saying illegal. So illicit drug use is our use of illegal substances such as cannabis, cocaine, ecstasy, and the use of prescription drugs when you don't have a prescription, okay? So you could sort of put vaping into this category too, or other drugs, you know, like Ritalin. Key stats. So 1/4, so 1 in 4 14 and 24-year-olds have used something of an illicit nature in the past year. It seems like a lot. It's not really that much, I guess, which is good, okay? Cannabis is obviously the most common of those drugs, being 1/4 of 18 to 24-year-olds have used it. Cocaine usage, however, is rising. It's actually doubled in like the last time they took survey results to the latest, but it's still pretty low. Like I think it's only sitting at about 11% for this number. So, you know, 1 in 10, 18 to 24-year-olds, but it's going up. So trends overall from this and from previous videos, the use of illicit drugs is dropping, okay? Which is good, but cannabis usage is still pretty high and cocaine usage is rising. So the causes, why do people use these types of drugs, okay? Peer pressure and availability, and those two probably go together, all right? Your friends aren't gonna peer pressure you to take a drug if they don't have the drug, all right? But, you know, more and more these days you'll go to parties or nightclubs or festivals or whatever, and someone has something there and everyone's like, hey, you should do this. Well, not everyone, because hopefully you have positive peers and they're like, no, don't do that. So, availability and peer pressure go hand in hand. The increased state of the world with greater mental health stresses and for stress management, so people will turn to, generally they go to alcohol first as sort of like a gateway drug to something harder like these things, all right, to try and alleviate the way they feel. Curiosity, that's always probably been in the top reasons of causes, but that's been around for 100 years, right? People generally will try something new just cause. Like, I wonder what it feels like, I wonder what it does. And this last one is probably rising, and it ties in with the availability aspect. Social media and access, okay? It is so easy for you to be a keyboard warrior and jump on the internet and find a source of one of these things, okay? And you can probably have that arranged pretty instantly these days, okay? Whereas before you sort of had to go face to face behind a building and know a guy, and I've never done this, by the way, it's what I've seen on movies or been told. So yeah, you had to do face to face meetups, etc. These days you can do it all online, it arrives in the mail, whatever. So yeah, easy access. Now, protective factors to stop young people from doing these things. Hopefully you have positive social networks. So not only do you have friends that don't encourage you to take it, but hopefully they're actively discouraging you from doing these things. So they'd be like, you know, hopefully you've got friends and they're like, oh, you know what? Like cannabis and cocaine, they're really bad for you. I would never take it. And I don't think anyone should ever take those things. And they're right. They are really bad for you, and et cetera, okay? So hopefully they're the types of people you hang around with. And if you don't hang around with those types of people and you happen to be spending lots of time with them on the weekends and parties and stuff, maybe get better friends. Community connectedness, so people that have a place in the community, whether that is like something small time like school, for example, or maybe you are part of a sporting team, or maybe like a development league or something, and you are a representative, okay? Not only of the community, but you're representative of the brand or whatever it is. And when people found out that you were taking something illegal, well, that would just completely tarnish all that type of stuff. So because of that connectedness, people generally don't use it. Education, not only education around the dangers of drug use, which we do in school, but the actual legal aspects. So what are the actual legal outcomes from you being caught with the drugs? So you're not even using it at this point, you've just got some on you, or on your body or in your car or anything. And then what is the consequence of you then using the drug, but also the legal consequence of you selling the drug, okay? So there are 3 actually different levels there, and none of them are, you know, just sort of, oh, don't do that again sort of thing, all right? They're illegal for a reason, put it that way. And the last one, access to mental health services. So if we know that increased stress and anxiety is causing people to turn to drugs, well, if we have better access to other services which can help them deal with those issues, then hopefully they won't turn to drugs. So in conclusion, usage rates are varying depending on the drug, but overall they are trending downwards. A more targeted approach to cocaine is probably required at this point, because while it is still low, it is increasing. And probably most importantly here, the dangers of cannabis need greater attention. You know, I've been in this job now for nearly 20 years, and every year when we talk about drug education with in year 8, and we talk about it in year 7, and we talk about it a little bit in year 10 as well, we talk about drugs, someone in the class always says, every time, without fail, oh, why is cannabis illegal? Like, it should be legalized. It's better for you than smoking, all right? And that is just so wrong, okay? Yes, medicinal grade cannabis or extracting THC from cannabis. No, not THC, yeah. So taking the THC out of the cannabis, right, so you're just left with a CBD product, can be good for pain relief and anxiety management in a prescription dosage handled by a medical professional. That is not the same as just smoking or consuming cannabis. It's completely different, all right? There's a reason why cannabis is illegal and has been illegal for a very long time. And it's not just illegal here, it's illegal in many countries around the world for good reason. And it probably needs, like I said, a more greater attention to that, to the dangerous nature of cannabis, because, you know, you turn on your TV and you'll still see ads about smoking and stuff, but you don't really see ads about cannabis, but it's quite high, like 1 in 4. So if you look at a senior class, it's like every 4th person sitting in that senior class will, or probably will, use cannabis in the next, 6 years or so. Anyway, that's our little wrap on illicit drug use. Thanks.